2, 1.
Welcome to 614Fempreneur. I am Michael Cheney, JKW. What's happening?
In the house, Jennifer Kessel-White here with at Welcome Home 614, your favorite Columbus real estate agent, real estate investor, and just an all-around entrepreneurial advocate in general. And I'm so excited for our host today. Not only is she amazing, but she's smart, gorgeous, just business-oriented, and is going to knock your socks off. This is Melissa Basil.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Melissa.
Hey.
Tell us a little bit about your business, Melissa.
Before we do that, I just have to let you know, Jennifer never gives me an introduction like
Oh
that.
my gosh.
I just want you to know.
Oh, well, thanks, Jennifer.
You're welcome. High five. I got you, girl.
I like you already.
I owe you.
I knew I would. Yeah, I'm Melissa Basil. I am an insurance agent. You know, I have the sexiest job in the world. What we do is we help families, individuals, and businesses protect their biggest assets.
Yes, I love it.
So how can we make insurance more sexy?
Oh, that's such a good question.
Yeah, I think you're around the right person here if you want to
I know.
freshen up the insurance
Well,
business.
it was funny because before this, Melissa was saying, like, I can't post about insurance every day because nobody wants to hear about that. And I'm like, do you honestly think that people want to hear about real estate every day? I sold a home today. La, 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 la.
No,
Nobody
you don't.
cares.
I don't want to hear
I
about
will-
real estate every day.
Yeah, I know. Like, that is boring. So, I don't know. Think about, like, fun ways to, I don't know your personality that much just yet, but I would think about fun ways to take a spin on it and make it more sexy. For example, like, if you're protecting their assets, you're protecting their
You know what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gotcha.
Just think about ways like that. Like, you can turn it around and make it more fun and funny. So
I like
that's
it.
my, like, my personality comes out in my posts.
Totally.
So whatever,
You're
like,
good at
Melissa's,
that.
you know,
Yeah.
jam is.
Yeah,
What's
which
your
is
jam?
the opposite. I mean, like my jam.
Like, what do you love? Like, what's your thing?
Music.
Music.
And
Yeah,
sports?
and sports. I
Love
love
that.
sports. I'm all
Yeah?
about the
Totally.
sports.
That's
Yeah.
so cool. Okay, so yeah, I would take that and be like, at protecting you from your
Yeah.
family, sports, music. Add all of that in there. Play
Yeah.
music. Post it. Do you ever do live videos?
I do not.
Oh
no.
boy.
I know
how
you
am.
do though,
You
because I
know
follow
how I
you.
am about a live
She's
video.
gonna make us do a live video.
I'm
after
gonna
this,
make.
I'm afraid.
Yep, it's happening for you.
Okay, so we're gonna do a brainstorm session after this, and she's gonna
Give us
both
some
get us
ideas.
both on the right
You
page.
got it.
Insurance and paint.
So, how did you get into the insurance business? Where did it come
Yeah.
from?
I that's a question I get a lot, so that's a good one to start off with. Most people get into insurance because they were maybe a manager, a coach, a teacher in another job, and they get recruited by a captive agency. So to kind of rewind, a captive agency is one that sells a straight company. So your Allstates, your State Farms, you only represent Liberty Mutual, you represent one company. And then you have your independent agencies, or I have a toolbox, right? So I have multiple carriers that I represent to help fit the needs of whoever I'm working with, whether it's that business owner, it's that family with 3 kids and 4 cars, and you know, one company might not be a good fit with them. So I got into the business because my travel softball coach was an insurance agent. I knew him since I was 11, and at the beginning, some of the reasons why I was in it were probably selfish, honestly. He was there every Friday at 9 a.m., and I knew most parents had 9-to-5 jobs,
Right.
and I didn't understand why he was there. You know, his family was really proud of him. He was known in the community. Like, when you'd go around, people would be like, oh, hey, Dave, hey, Mr. Kelly, and everyone knew who he was, and I thought
so
that was cool.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So I thought that part was really neat. And then, you know, he lived a great life. It felt like they got to travel and they got to do a lot of things. And then, so early on, it was selfish.
Just quality of
yeah,
life.
quality
like you
of
were
life
saying,
type of stuff that might seem internally focused, but
That's not selfish though. That's goal.
yeah,
You know.
Well, and
for
it's
sure.
kind of awesome that you recognize that at a young age.
yeah,
Like, a lot of us don't realize that we need that flexibility until we're older. We
Right.
have kids. We have all these
Right.
responsibilities.
True.
That's pretty cool.
yeah. And so, like, my last boss used to call me a nerd. He's like, nobody studies insurance. So I studied insurance at Ohio State. I got my business
Really?
degree with a specialization in risk management and insurance, which is really weird that people actually graduate. And I think everyone in my insurance class was doing like a second specialization
Right.
coming from finance. So I was majorly in finance to begin with, but then I was like, I am not sitting behind a desk with a calculator and pencil and crunching numbers my whole life. That just wasn't my personality.
So that kind of gets me into the next question, where do you think that you are finding your dream job, or are you creating your dream career? Like, tell us about
yeah.
Are you there? Are you still creating it? Have you found it?
Yeah, I'm still creating it for sure. So I just opened my agency about 8 months ago.
Right.
I was on the captive side and saw a lot of people that I wasn't able to help. So that's why I decided to move to the independent side. I did it with the help of a good family friend. He helped sponsor my agency. And every day we're creating it. I was just telling, Michael on the way in, like, this last month has been wonderful. It's been the best month ever. I'm changing the way I approach customers, the way we, bring in new business, the way we present it to customers. I think a lot of times in insurance, people just buy it and they don't know what they have.
Exactly.
And my goal is to create, we were talking about how can you be different. Every time that bill comes out every month, if you pay monthly, most people are like, gosh darn it, that insurance agent just gets my money and we never use it. And for me, I want to educate. Like, when it comes out, you're like, oh yeah, that's for my liability coverage, or that's to protect my house. So if I make a wrong turn and hit, the breadwinner of a family, Melissa's got my back. And so just trying to create a new culture around insurance, that we can be young and we know what we're talking about, and also that we're here to make you more knowledgeable. You're not just going to buy a policy and we'll never see you again.
Right.
That is a different approach, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a disadvantage maybe early on, or I thought it would be, is that I'm young and people are like,
right.
The stereotypical insurance agent is a older
Old
male.
Old white dude.
Yeah, an older male.
So let me tell a quick story. So I don't know, did I meet you about 5 or 6 years ago?
Yeah, when we bought our condo in New Albany.
So her and Drew bought a condo and I went and painted it. This is actually when I was still a painter. And I show up, and I don't know why I remember this, but I had an Ohio State softball shirt on.
What are the odds?
And I didn't know who she was. And so she said, did you play at Ohio State? I mean, I wanted to say yes, but I, of course, had to say no. But anyway, at this moment, in this like 5-10 minute conversation, she told me she was in the insurance business and she was working for an insurance agency. And she told me she was going to have her own insurance company. I don't know if you remember this, but it always stuck with me. And she was young. I mean, you had just graduated from Ohio State, right?
Yep.
So how old were you?
What, 19? Probably 18 or 19.
So at that time,
or 20.
She tells me, her goal is to have her own insurance agency. And in my own mind, I'm a business owner. Here I am painting, literally painting her condo. And I in my own mind, I'm like, wow, like I hope she accomplishes that. That's got to be difficult.
Right.
Lo and behold, here she is. However many years later.
How many houses and fireplaces and
lots of
trim later.
Melissa, that's so awesome, though. So that is what it's all about, right? That's even what this show is all about. You say, I have a goal, and then all of a sudden, it's finding empowerment and finding other people who have similar goals to reach them. So that's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
Congratulations, by
Thank
the way,
you.
Rockstar. Here's a question for you. Who thinks you're beautiful when you wake up in the morning?
Oh, my husband.
I could answer
Drew.
that one. Well, what about Maxwell?
We have Bristol now.
Oh, I don't even know Bristol.
Yeah, so Drew and I have been married 3 years as of July 2nd, and we have 2 sheepadoodles. They're actually heapadoodles because they're boys, my husband says. But they're Old English sheepdogs mixed with poodles. So in a marriage, I learned you have to compromise. I'm an only child, so obviously I'm an A-type personality.
Yeah.
I learned we have to share even when it comes to dogs. So I never had a dog that shed, and Drew had Old English sheepdogs. And if you know Old English sheepdogs, they are like a walking shedding machine.
So wait, what does this leave you with?
So this leaves you with
a medium shedder?
Old English, no shedding.
No shedding?
None.
Oh,
yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Poodle and Old English sheepdog mixed together, and you get Maxwell and Bristol sheepadoodles.
What, when you wake up in the morning, is there any kind of a routine that you do that kind of just sets your pace for the day, and you want to like do it daily?
Yeah.
What is it?
I'm an avid Orange Theory fitness person.
Yeah.
So I'm about a 4-year member.
Oh, wow.
I started back in New Albany when they opened that first location. And it just kind of gets my morning going. It's something I'm excited about.
Right.
It's different. Having played a sport, the physical side and kind of staying in shape and exercise was always really important. So that's something that I do. I get to work a lot with the owners to insure them. So it's kind of something I've been able to mix with business and personal passion. And it's been really fun. But yeah,
Don't
working
forget
out.
to use that as a deduction.
Yeah.
What time?
Painful and write it off.
What time do you go to the gym?
Either 5 a.m. or 6:15 a.m.
Wow.
So what does your typical day look like? 5 a.m., 6:15, and then what do you do from there?
Yeah, from there I come home, shower, get dressed. My office is a mile from the house, so it's great. Let the dogs out, head straight to the office. Typically in the morning it's a lot of like service work, so just catching up, submitting applications, and then starting at lunchtime it's normally appointments.
Right.
And then I end around, right now having that flexible job. I end around typically 4:30, and I give catching lessons 3 nights a week.
That's awesome.
Until like 9:30 at night. So my
Yeah.
days are packed.
So she was a catcher for Ohio State
Nice.
softball. And so you do catching, so you got a little side hustle.
Little side
going on.
hustle. Yep.
And you also coach
At Upper
at
Arlington.
So
Wow.
you're locked into the community, and I know you're doing some
Yeah.
good
With
stuff
all
there.
the things that you have going on, kind of sounds like a lot like me, where I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I just have, you know, multiple facets of life.
Yep.
Do you ever feel overwhelmed, or like
Yeah.
tell me how that
Yeah,
works for you?
absolutely. So I feel like we got overwhelmed with slow pitch softball. So
Mhm.
right, that you have all these hats, and like how many hats do you want to wear, and how many can you wear and still wear the ones you're wearing well?
Right.
Exactly.
And so real estate's my husband's career.
Mhm.
I'm in insurance, and then we both give lessons from our sport, and that's
Right.
kind of where we've capped off. We're like, okay, this is our focus, but we got ourselves caught into some like extra slow pitch stuff that's
Mhm.
taken away from time together, or like that
Mhm.
work-life balance. And I just am not good at saying no, and that's something year 2 of the business that I want to be better at,
Yeah.
is being able to say no to people and not feel like you're disappointing them.
Yes, that's tough.
Yep.
Because it's super easy to just say yes and try just figure it out.
You want to
Right.
always just nail it, and you want to say like,
Mhm.
yes, I can prove myself, I can be this for everyone.
Yeah.
But
You can't.
Yeah, no, because then all of the things that you do really have a passion for, you won't succeed at.
Right.
It's also, I think, one thing that's hard when it comes to saying no is that you want that person or that company to keep coming back to you. So I'm always afraid, well, if I say no this time, then maybe that's going
Right.
to
Yeah.
affect things down the road.
Right. Yep. And they're friends, or maybe a client, or you know.
Because
you
the
just don't
last
know.
thing you want is someone to say, oh, they're too busy, you know.
Yeah.
Don't go there, they're too busy.
No. But we always, as of now, we always figure it out.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
So, if your office walls could talk, what would they say?
clean your desk. No, my desk is crazy just because
Is
you have a
it?
lot going on. You
Yeah.
have stuff you're waiting on. Part of my business is, you know, you go reach out and get customers, you know, get help families, help business owners, but a lot of times you're waiting for things, or it might not be the right timing for somebody. So I think that's probably the hardest part about my job, is that you don't end the day and it's done, right? I'm not
Right.
cutting someone's hair and it's over with. Probably very similar for you guys. Like
Yes.
it's not done when the clock hits, you know, 4:30 and
Right.
it's time to go home. So my desk is pretty wild and crazy. So they'd probably tell me to clean up my desk
Mm-hmm.
and to just sit down, because I like to move. So I'll
Yeah.
like stand
Yeah.
up and work.
Me
And
too. Yeah.
Are there any like tools that you use to help keep organized?
yeah, so my dad is super old school and I make fun of him all the time, but I still have a paper calendar and a phone calendar.
Okay.
2 reasons.
Mhm.
One, if I'm trying to set up an appointment on the phone, I can still look at my paper calendar and,
Right.
and see what I have going on. Second off, technology has failed me before, and it's deleted things out of my schedule. So I use paper.
Okay.
I use a lot of Excel spreadsheets to track things I'm working on, you know, create a timeline. Like in my business, the cycle of your customer has a timeline. You know, you're in the quoting process, then you've delivered the quote, you've had the appointment, and then you get to that closing process. Or if it doesn't make sense now, my big thing is I'm here to help you, right? I'm here to give you advice, and then you make the decision, or let me help you make the decision. But if it doesn't make sense in that moment, let me quote you in 6 months to a year.
Right.
I don't ever want someone to come to me because I'm more expensive and not giving them, you know, the same level, if not better coverage than what they have. So I try to create with Excel spreadsheets some of that life cycle of a customer in the insurance business, and just continue to update those and track them. And then we have a system that we, you know, keep notes in, put in follow-ups, reminders,
Right.
birthday reminders,
Like a
different
customer
things.
management
Yep,
system.
yep.
Jen, are there any tools that you use to keep organized?
I have I was just going to ask Melissa, what's your favorite app? Because we were kind of just getting right there. So
Yeah.
I have a bunch of different things I use. I use Evernote for certain passwords and, you know, special notes that I want to keep. I need a to-do list that's on paper in front of me, though.
Mhm.
I have a phone calendar, but I need like that to-do list that also has like, here's what your day looks like, and then
Yeah.
here's all the items that you have to do
Right.
today, and then here's all the you'd love to do today, and there's not a chance that you're going to get those done too. I like to write those out,
Yeah.
so you know I can
Yeah.
just be like, oh, carry them over for tomorrow.
Right.
But do you have an app that you really?
To-do list. is what it's called.
Uh-huh.
And so you can color code them. And
Love that.
yeah, it's pretty awesome. I found it through a friend that was a financial advisor. He's like, this is the best app. I'm like, okay, let me try it out. And so you can put reminders on there. It shows your day, it can show your week, it can show your month, and then you color code them red, yellow, and green based on the importance of you needing to get it done that day. And I find that really helpful as well.
Cool.
Yeah. But no, I need a good one for social media. I've heard there's ones you can like plan out what you want to post.
Planoly.
Planoly.
There's a couple. Now, Jen doesn't like the one I'm using.
I don't like the one you're using.
And the reason I don't like the one she's using is because it's really geared towards Instagram, right?
Not true.
Okay, so see, I'm wrong. She tells me I'm wrong often, but I've been using Hootsuite, and it works. I think it is limited. Like
Ancient.
I will give. I'm ancient.
No, you're not. Get out of here.
But I will give her props. I think the one that she's using probably has a little more flexibility. But for what I'm doing right now, which is really trying to learn how to put more content out there and have some sort of schedule, Hootsuite is working for me. But at some point, I'll take the plunge and probably find something better.
You just need to take a tutorial with Planoly. So they can do your Instagram post, your Facebook post, even you can plan on Instagram stories on there.
Yeah.
And they give you templates
really
and set it up, and it's really cool. And by the way, I say that, but I want to let you guys know that I suck at planning out my stories. I don't do it at all. I absolutely I'm like, oh, I have to post this right now. So
it looks like you got it down.
I agree.
I would love nothing more than to have it. Like, I hear so many people are like, on Sundays we just plan out our whole week's worth of Instagram posts, and I'm like, really? Sundays I'm having cocktails. I don't know where I'm playing with my kids. You know, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, same. I don't do that right now. It's kind of in the moment.
So I got a question for you. You know, since you're young, you're doing your thing. What's some advice you would give someone that is thinking about starting a business, thinking about getting into a certain field? What would you tell them? Is there anything that
you just have to do it? Because I look back in our family history was my father's a diesel mechanic. He worked for a local company, and my mom held him back for so long. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching this. But she kept telling him, she's awesome, but she'll admit it. If she was on here with us, she would say the same thing. Is she wanted that steady salary income, knowing it was going to come in. Because it's scary when you go out on your own. You don't know how people are going to react to what you sell or to your brand. And so when I switched, probably for about 2 years, I had this opportunity. And my father-in-law, through Drew kicking lessons, knew somebody, and he had been talking to me for 2 years, and I'm like, no, I'm really comfortable. I'm comfortable where I'm at.
Oh, that's the worst word to use.
Yes. And
if you're comfortable, you're not growing.
You're not growing, right? And so I was happy. And would my life have been wonderful, probably where I was going to go? Absolutely. It would have been. I was with a wonderful company. I had great training. I had great people behind me. But at the end of the day, there still was a couple pieces that would have been missing that I saw. So I was afraid. I waited for sure at least 1.5 years. I heard about the opportunity 2 years before I started. So I would say just go do it, because so many people are comfortable, and you have to struggle for a couple months to a year, maybe not eat, eat some ramen noodles and mac and cheese again. Like, it's okay. It's not the end of the world to do that. But
now, when you got started, did it help that you were doing like your catching lessons?
Yeah.
Because you did have a second stream of income. And I think that's like super smart.
Yeah, for sure. That, I would say, that is what kept us afloat at the beginning, because Drew was super young into real estate, and it takes time to build your name as a realtor, especially when you're young. People are like, oh, you're gonna help me buy a $500,000 house? Like, are you kidding me? You look like you just graduated from high school. So, and the same goes for me, as we are young, and that's a disadvantage, but we try to use it as an advantage that we're young and agile, and we have new ways of thinking about things and new ways of coming up with, how to protect your family and your business, your assets. But, I would say that catching lessons helped us immensely, and his kicking lessons helped us, because we both were starting fresh, and that was scary.
Totally.
Yeah.
Do you have any other side hustles? I know you guys have gotten into real estate a little bit.
No, just our investment property down by Thurman Cafe. We love that place. I think it challenged our marriage really early.
Or the
no.
Eastgate
Street.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
Eastgate Street, 206, 208. No, we bought a duplex 2 years ago, and I had always lived in, being an only child, my parents in college would never let me live in an apartment that like didn't have either gated or like a key fob to get into the building to then get into your building. And so I always lived in like nice Edwards communities, and we had a decent condo. I mean, it was 1,600 square feet, 2-car attached garage. And then Drew's like, hey, let's sell it to buy this property that you opened it and there was cat and dog hair everywhere. I swear if I would have turned the stove on, it was going to blow up the whole house. It had a film layer about a half an inch thick that no one ever cleaned. And I was like, we're not doing this. And he won, obviously.
You handled it like a champ.
Yeah.
I've been in those properties.
Until we closed and then started getting the other side, like the income stream.
Yeah.
I didn't see the potential. We weren't a family that ever made money in real estate. That wasn't an avenue our family pursued for extra income. So it was hard.
But what a great income.
Oh, yeah. Is. I'd love to find another one, but they're so difficult to come across now.
Get a hold of.
Yeah.
So here's a fun question that I like to ask, and take it with as you will. But what do you think Lady Gaga would do?
Oh gosh.
I know it's hard.
Like right now, or just
what would Lady Gaga do? Just
rah 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 ah. That's what she would do. That's my best.
I think that is the best. Yes.
That's a good one.
All right. Well, what do you think, Michael?
I think Melissa's pretty awesome, and here's why. Well, I've already said the fact that she's young, she's ambitious, she's doing her thing, she's kind of got herself into a few different areas. Is there anything else you want to get into? Like if you could say, you know what, there's one untapped area right now that you're interested in. Do you have that?
In the business or
just
outside?
It doesn't have to be
I would
business,
love.
I don't think.
I would love to flip a house or two in my lifetime. Yeah.
That's always what I like to ask people too, because it's if you could not fail at something and you're just going to try something that you have no clue what you're doing, what would that look like? Like, I don't know. One of my favorite things to do is arrange flowers. Really weirdly, I find it to be extremely relaxing, and like you can just make something so beautiful. So, I mean, that's something where I'm like, I'm not a professional florist by any means, but like that's just kind of like,
that's cool.
So,
like you'd like to take a class or something,
I don't need a class. I just feel like I'm already owning it. No, but it's just one of those things where you're like, oh, if I could do nothing else, like I would just maybe, I don't know, arrange flowers and just, get into that. Like dig into a field that you have no clue what you're doing.
Yeah, I would love to like flip and flip houses, like stage them and everything. Like I follow CB Staging on Instagram. She's awesome. But that's kind of my place. So like when we redid this house, I didn't think I liked it, but when we redid this house, like it was so much fun picking out this, the cabinets, the countertops, the decorations, the trim, and I really got into it. I think that would be fun.
Yeah. What's your Instagram handle?
What is it? Mine is melren88 personal, and then you can connect to my business one from there.
Nice. Very
cool. How
does
someone reach you if they want an insurance quote?
You can just call me or text me at 440-935-0587. That's one thing. I give out my personal cell phone number.
Absolutely.
I think you should be able to reach your agent after hours if you need to.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
So
Michael, what about you? Tell us a little bit about how we reach you on social media.
Okay, well, you can follow No Drip Painting at No Drip Painting. That would be Facebook and Instagram. Yeah. Or, of course, my personal, which is Michael Chaney, and you spell my first name Michal. How about you?
Oh,
KW?
So glad you asked.
I'm surprised you haven't already told us yet.
There's still time. It's at Welcome Home 614, and I would love it if you'd send me a text and or just drop me a DM. But 614-657-1219. That's my cell phone. Send me a text. Give me a call. I prefer text. But and so let's do this, ladies. I had so much fun.
Yeah, totally. Let's hit her with one more question.
I
know you've got a good one.
Oh no, wait. Okay. Now
I'm just Lady Gaga.
No, I can't help the Lady Gaga thing. It's my favorite because people will give you the weirdest answers.
It's true.
And that's why I have to do that.
Is that like your go-to question?
It's one, yes. Of course, we have to ask our very, very most important question, which is, what is your why?
What is my why? To truly help people, their families, and their businesses grow. To be there to protect them as they grow. I want to be there to be with them.
Yeah.
So you're buying and owning your biggest assets of your life, and they're worth protecting.
Totally. And I think you mentioned something in the beginning of the show about what you recognized very early on was that it gave flexibility for you and your own family. So my guess is it's probably a combination of both of those things.
Mhm.
And like we've talked about, Jen, your why often changes over the years, right?
Absolutely.
So you might start for one reason, and then once you get into it, your different passions creep in, and you kind of have a different reason.
Yeah, I agree. And also we talk about how our why definitely will adjust and reach out to other whys. Like your main why can hit other points. So it might not be your number one answer is family, but if you're the most passionate and successful in what you're doing, then your family is going to reap those rewards. So even though your why can change or it can be different, it's still going to affect others in your life and still make it the best because you're hitting exactly what you want to do.
Yep.
So that's super important.
Exactly. That's awesome. Melissa, you're amazing.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you so much.
614Fempreneur. Follow us on Facebook at 614FEMPRENEUR.
Yes, and if you're interested in being on the show, shoot us a message so we can hook up with you.
Yes,
Anything
please.
else, ladies?
No.
No.
I'm good.
All right.
Have a great day.
Awesome.
Thanks.